Welcome back to another video here on a Felons Uprising channel. That's for felons. I'm your host, Moises Beauchamp. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the newsletter, like this video, share, comment, and let me know what you think. This president is about how Donald Trump is making felons great again. Good peoples. Whether you love him or hate him, the man is actually making felons great again with this First Step Act and the Second Chance hiring law that was just signed into effect. As he says on his meme here, as Americans have always believed in the power of redemption, that those who have fallen can work towards brighter days ahead. And that's a true statement right there. It's not all of us are bad people, you feel me? We just made some mistakes in life. To break down real brief what this First Step Act and Second Chance hiring is what it is part of President Donald Trump's agenda to create opportunities for all Americans. The Second Chance hiring builds on the success of the historic First Step Act that was signed into law by this President Donald Trump back in December of 2018. The First Step Act created a fair justice system for all enacted programs to reduce the return and of a lot of ex-felons and make our communities a whole lot safer. This landmark legislation reform is policy that has been failing Americans for decades, and now is enabled. It has enabled ex-offenders to potential have their sentence reviewed. You feel me? Since this First Step Act was signed into law, 90% of those who have had their sentence reduced have been African Americans and Hispanic, Puerto Ricans like me. And I think that is awesome. Real quick, I'm gonna share this video that was on Fox News, and this is what a couple guys that were in prison had to say about this First Step Act and this Second Chance Hiring Act. Give me a second. Quick sec.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you all for being here. And don't worry about the name, it's Greek. That's the best pronunciation anyone's done in many years. Again, my name is John Koufos, and Mr. President, your courage in criminal justice reform has made America safer, it's made America better, and it's made America more prosperous. So first and foremost, I want to thank you for that. Thank you. We're on June 12th, I think, 2019 today, and in June 12th, 2013, I was in prison. I had hurt someone. My alcoholism, I caused a car accident in my alcoholism, driving drunk. And thank the Lord I didn't kill that person, Mr. President. And when I was in prison, and here I was, this trial lawyer from New Jersey, nobody asked me for money, which was really a surprise in prison. But nearly everybody asked me for a job. Everyone wanted a job to avoid crime, to reunify with their families, to pay child support. And I never forgot that. And as my journey towards sobriety took shape, I was blessed with people like the folks in this room who gave me that second chance to contribute. and I would go on to build a very large reentry program in New Jersey. From there, I would go on to be recruited to work down here in Washington, D.C. to help do this nationally. I've worked with Governor Bryant, so many good people in the room. And without a second chance, I don't know where I would have been. I'm not sure if I could have stayed sober. I certainly know I wouldn't have contributed the level I did. Next month, I have my first child, a baby daughter, on the way. I have, thank you. I'm married, and I have the ability to be standing here with you, Mr. President. Thank you for taking on criminal justice reform. Folks, this is the public safety issue of our time. This is a justice issue of our time. This is a civil rights issue of our time. And this is a prosperity issue of our time. And Mr. President, thanks to you, it's all of our time. God bless you.
Thank you, John. That's incredible. That's an incredible story, and I can't tell you the job he's done. So respected. Across the federal government, we're giving former inmates the resources they need to make the most of their new lease on life. Today, the Federal Bureau of Prisons announced that it will work with employers to help those leaving prison to have a job lined up when they are released, something that pretty much has never happened before. Also earlier today, the Department of Labor, Alex, that's good. He's done a great job. He's done a good job. Awarded $2 million to states to support fidelity bonds, which underwrite companies that hire former prisoners. We're expanding our Second Chance Pell Grant pilot program to allow individuals to use their time in prison to take college-level classes. That's great. That's great.
So now they're training us, you feel me? They're training us to be able to get jobs when we come home. So there's no excuses about not being able to get a job now.
That's great. The Department of Energy has begun a new initiative to inform American workers, including former inmates, about great jobs in the booming energy industry, and that is a great industry. And just in case you didn't hear me say this before, we've now become the #1 energy producer by far in the world. We're topping Saudi Arabia, and we're topping Russia. Our administration is also working to allow rehabilitated citizens with a criminal record to apply for both federal government jobs and affordable housing, something they were unable to do before. Here with us today is Marcus Bullock, who went to prison as a minor in 1996 and now runs a technology company, and he's doing a very good job. Marcus, please come up and say hello. You're here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. When I was in cell C12, I never thought that I would be standing here on this podium, so I'm going to suck all of this moment up while I'm standing right here.
I know that's right, brother.
Thank you.
I know that's
Thank
right.
you.
I look for it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. When I was 15 years old, I made one of the worst mistakes of my life, and it landed me in front of a judge listening to him sentence me to 8 years in adult maximum security prisons. I grew up in a prison cell, and I'll tell you, that was some of the darkest times of my life. The depression that I fought, the battles on the prison rec yards that I saw every day, they became a big part of me, and they built this dark spirit that my mom began to see, and my mom made a commitment because she wanted me to understand that there was life after prison. There would be potential days that looked like this. And so my mom wrote me letters and she sent me pictures every day for the remaining 6 years of my prison sentence until I came home so that she can show me the window to the world. And this is why I'm so grateful for what happens when around the country and we having conversations around the First Step Act and what we're doing now with these second chances, because even once I came home, it was still very challenging for me to get a job. After finally finding a job at a paint store, minimum wage job, and I was very, very grateful just to be able to get a job, and it was really only because of the way that they worded one of the questions on the application. It allowed me to be able to even eventually start my first business after prison, which was a painting business. We ended up hiring over 18 employees, and after the 19th one, we realized that the first 16 were all returning citizens just like me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And while we were building opportunities for other men and women to come home and have a great place to be able to work with sustainable employment, we wanted to venture out a little bit further, and in 2012, we started our first tech company. That tech company, Flick Shop, is now a venture-backed company that connects families back to their incarcerated loved ones the same way that my mom wrote me letters and pictures when I was in prison. We've connected over 140,000 families around the country, and I'm so grateful because the resources that are flowing back into these prison cells using our tech is building the next generation of entrepreneurs, leaders, business executives like me, and great employees at some of you all's incredible companies. I'm so grateful to be a small part of the solution because we do understand that this crisis is huge. But with you guys' leadership, I feel very, very optimistic about the future of employment. Thank you.
Isn't that amazing?
And tomorrow, Marcus will be announcing a run for a major public office.
All right. Let me know in the chat section, in the comment section, what you guys think about this First Step Act and second chance hiring law that has just been passed in the office. Do you feel that Mr. Donald Trump is making felons great again by passing this law? I think so. I think that there's no more excuses. Feel me? There's no more excuses for us ex-felons to be coming home crying and feeling all depressed because we can't find a job. You feel me? That's how I felt when I came home, when I was struggling to find a job, when I was turned down by long down silvers. That really messed me up. I was like, damn, but I can't provide for my family. I'm not allowed to because I made a mistake when I was 24. You know, what kind of crap is this? But now there's no excuses. lingostaffing.com. If you seeking a job, I'm gonna drop that link below so you can have easy access to it. It's a very popular site. I've been hearing a lot about it, so I'm gonna share it with you. There's no excuses right now with this act. If you're anything like me and you want to build your own income, you feel as though that you're better than a dead-end job, and you want to build your own business, I'll provide that information below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to share this video because there may be ex-felons out there that don't have this information, that don't know about this First Step Act and the second chance hiring law that was just passed this past summer into law. There's no excuses now. You know what I'm saying? There's no excuses for us not to be able to provide for our family. There's no excuses for us to be sitting around depressed. There's just too many opportunities out there for us, my friends. Let's reach out for them. Feel me? I'm your boy, Moises Beauchamp. You've been tuned in to Prison Talk Radio here at successforfelons.com, where we are empowering ex-felons to uprise. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.